hierarchy of laws. Now, what is this chart? So important. This chart helps you to understand where you stand in this game. A lot of people don't understand that there is a hierarchy of the laws that are out here, and there are so many different laws. And this chart, by the way, this is law. This is law. Why? Because it's on record. And so we help you and encourage you, all of our students and our members know, to have this as a part of their trust. Why? Because we're establishing the hierarchy of laws. So you put it in your trust, it becomes a law for your trust as well. All right. So let's go over this hierarchy of law chart once again that comes with the UNA Beginner Law book. Okay. So first of all, but what you'll notice here at the top, universal laws. And we talked about that. Once again, the universal laws come inside of with the UNA law book. Okay, so what are universal laws? Universal laws deal with the energies. When I tell you guys all the time, and we talk constantly about the spiritual side and how everything starts from the spirit, okay, that's dealing with the universal laws. The universal laws deal with whatever energies you put out must come back. That's the main principle. Whatever energies you put out must come back. Listen, I can't even get into making money and how to make money and all that before I go into the spiritual side. And I get this, a lot of students, they'll come to me in that state, in that desperate state. And first of all, we got to get you out of that desperate state and let you know that everything starts within. Okay, once you understand that, the money is going to find you. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to be worried about it and nervous about, oh, well, I'm going to get my money. We're understanding that with the universal laws, we're recognizing our energies and the fact that when we put out an energy or when we have a thought, when we speak something, when we do something, we're creating an energy in this third dimension, and then it's got to show back up. Okay, so we're understanding that. Now, that's the next law. Underneath that is natural law. Natural law. When we're speaking about natural law, we're speaking about the ways that the objects within this third dimension show up, the nature of the beings that show up in our third dimension. What is their nature? All right, what does that mean? First of all, when we're talking about men, when we're talking about women, or when we're talking about males or females, or even plastic and anything that's showing up in this dimension, it has a nature. The issue is, are you respecting the nature of the being that is showing up? And so I speak about male, female, because we don't have a respect for the nature of beings that show up in this third dimension. And this includes how the things that we expect from men, the things that we expect from women. We don't have a true respect. It's like, for example, we know that cats have a nature. We know that dogs have a nature. Dogs are the ones who you're going to train to guard your house or to bark and make a lot of noise when somebody comes around. Well, you're not being respectful if you buy a cat and you try to train the cat to bark and to watch the house and to make up a lot of, that's not in their nature. And so when you do that and you have an expectation of this cat to do something that's not in its nature, the problem is you. It's the same thing when we're talking about males. We in this society have made males out to be something and have expectations on them to do something that's not in their nature. And women have not been standing in their nature. And so we wonder why we're backwards in this society. Well, we don't understand nature, nor have a respect for what nature has ordained in this dimension. So when we're talking about nature, it is recognizing the nature of the beings. Also, the other thing about nature, what you need to understand that we have not been taught about nature or natural law, is that Nature says we live in abundance. That's what nature says, meaning you don't have a need to hoard when you plant. Y'all heard the term, you reap what you sow? Well, if you don't sow, you don't get to reap. But somebody has planted it in our minds in this society that we need to hoard. Oh, it's scarcity. There's not enough for everybody. Well, the problem is that that's not what nature says. And if you have that mindset, and if you take on those characteristics, when you hoard, then you receive less. But when you give, nature says, I'm going to return it in multiple. So what am I talking about? When you plant a seed, if I plant a tomato seed, nature says, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of seeds back. Nature's not like, no, you only planted one seed. I'm going to give you a quarter of that seed back. No, nature's going to give you a whole bunch of seeds. If I plant a tomato seeds, I'm going to get thousands of seeds back because I've sowed that. Now I'm going to reap it. When you have the opposite mentality where you're hoarding, well, then you're going to get less. And we've got to come out of that mentality because we got to start recognizing and respecting how nature is, how nature operates.